Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Polygon Live here at E3 2014. We are here with some very special guests, Michael and Glenn from Sledgehammer Games. Thanks for coming, guys.
Oh man,
thanks for having us, man.
It's very busy and it's very hot outside, so I appreciate you, taking a little trek, coming out.
No problem.
It's great to talk to fans here.
This is a very exciting year for Call of Duty. Obviously, it's not often that we sort of birth a new franchise, a new installment in the series. This is definitely very new. People got that impression just from seeing that gameplay at the Microsoft press conference. We're actually going to throw to that right now, and the world will be able to see just how different and new this is. And we'll just talk about what we're seeing here. Have you guys said who the protagonist is that's in this level that you're playing as?
You're playing as Jack Mitchell, and right here, this is the very beginning of the game when you're being dropped from about 70,000 feet up in the air in a pod, which is the way that they drop guys in at this point. 10,000 people are going down. So Jack Mitchell, you're a new recruit. You're a Marine at this point. And then we take about, we see his story throughout the whole game for about 10 years, and when he becomes a hardened veteran.
Oh, really? So it's quite a range.
Yeah,
and that's very new for Call of Duty. We've really, you'll deal with like one conflict over the course of maybe a few months, but to see that range of a character.
Yep. Just one guy, and that's how we wrote the story, and it's different. So
people, I think, underestimate how important it is to have a good story in these Call of Duty games. Like, those are the ones that stick out. Those are the ones that people remember. Obviously, I think, the original Modern Warfare really set that high standard, and games like Black Ops really continued that tradition. How do you come at this? Like, what is your baseline for getting a good story in a Call of Duty game?
Yeah, I mean, we agree. Narrative and emotional storytelling is hugely important, and as fans of great, rich entertainment, I mean, man, every time I watch a Game of Thrones, it's like the best piece of TV I've ever seen in my life, right? And we want to bring that to this media, and so, as entertainers, as the team that brought the original Dead Space, like, it's sort of in our DNA to really want to drive something, and so it's been a huge focus for us.
Yeah, absolutely. 2.5 years working on the story, working on the script, the dialogue, just trying to get it right, and I hope so.
I think we did. It seems like in TV these days, stories are sustained by their villains. You need to have a good villain. It seems like you got a pretty good one.
Yes.
We're not going to see him in this, but can you talk a bit about who you're going to be facing off against?
Yeah, when we wrote the story, we had in mind, you always have in mind some people when you're writing, right? And for the protagonist, a big guy, our enemy, was Kevin Spacey.
Yeah.
So in the end, when we're just going to picking actors, Activision said, well, why don't we go after Kevin?
Sure.
And
was that like a short list for you guys?
It was a short list of one. Yeah. We're like, go after Kevin Spacey. Yeah.
And what's sort of his motivation, the character's motivation here? Is it? Are you guys revealing that much?
Yeah. He plays Jonathan Irons, the CEO and president of the largest standing private military corporation. And this is ripped from the headlines. Call of Duty tries to sort of ground you in, today's conflict and tomorrow's sort of technology, and we think this is pretty impactful for advanced warfare. And so the rise of the PMCs is happening. It's real today. The military talks about that being a viable threat of the future, and we touch on sort of that story. And Jonathan is the CEO of Atlas, and he's a man who wants to change the world for the good, and realizes at some point he can move from profit to policy, and he has the power to back it.
Sure. Yep. So we've seen near future in Call of Duty. Ghosts, obviously, and Black Ops 2, some near future.
Right.
This does not look like near future. This looks like a little bit in the farther. Yeah. We're dealing with some crazy tech in this.
Well, you're going to see a cool new tank in about 10 seconds.
Right. This is sort of a walker. Sort of. What? You guys have a name for that thing?
Right now, we call it the walking tank.
That works.
Yeah. we have numbers for everything, and but we figured that on the ground when we talk to a lot of the soldiers, right? There's a name for tanks and there's a name for things, but they call it the Warthog or they call it something. So that's what we did here. Yeah, we have a lot of new technology.
Yeah. But this is really for us for Call of Duty. You have to ground it in what's really happening. So every piece of new in this game, and there's a lot right on every corner.
Sure.
It's all based on a piece of research that we have found today, right? From directed energy weapons to smart grenades to augmented reality to the walking tank. Like we saw the walking tank in action, believe it or not.
Yeah.
And so, well, it may at first glance at times think, oh, is that on the edge of sci-fi? It's
What
all
is that?
based.
Like, what is this? What are we looking
Well,
at here?
Well, we see drones nowadays. We just put 1,000 of them together.
There's like a swarm.
Yeah, yes,
essentially.
exactly what they're called.
Okay, so we just saw the exosuit. How does that work in the game itself? How are people going to be able to control that?
Yeah, the Exo is the heart and soul of the Advanced Soldier, and you're seeing everything from the boost jump right here to Exo dodge and strength and speed. You know, it really gives the player a whole new way to play Call of Duty off the controller, right? Everything you love about Call of Duty off the controller, but now with a sort of fully redefined player mechanic set. So it's pretty incredible, and you're going to find that throughout all, as Glenn said, pillars of the game.
Sure.
Player, co-op, multiplayer. I mean, it's a game changer.
It seems like the air dash, or the air dodge, as it were, is the most drastic change to a Call of Duty like movement system that we've seen in a while. How is that controlled? Like literally, what are the players doing when they control that?
I mean, it's simple. We're doing the same. We're trying to make it easy, accessible for everybody. So I mean, you're hitting your jump button and you're able to go up. I mean, now some of them are a little bit more complicated, but we try not to do anything too much. We just want people to pick it up. Same thing with any vehicles as well.
Yeah. Do you feel like it seems like shooters these days, first-person shooters in particular, the next sort of focus for everyone seems to be mobility. It seems like it was a very static, like that was just, you know, pretty standard from the original Modern Warfare throughout until really this. You know, everyone sort of ran the same way, moved the same way. How much of that is really like you guys sort of inventing the way you move around the shooter?
Well, you know, it's an interesting story because we started this 3 years ago, and you know, with an additional third year, first time ever in Call of Duty, really gives a chance to take some risks and try some new things out. And we prototyped the Exo and the boost jump within the first 6 weeks after MW3, long before we saw it on Elysium and long before other games had started introducing these new. So I don't know if we all came to the same conclusion together, but I know we've been refining this for nearly 3 years for Call of Duty, and I think it's been pretty innovative to how you're going to play Call of Duty now. So
I think we're seeing sort of the blending of genres a bit, right? We also have a adventure game background with Dead Space, so I think you're seeing a little of that come through. And we have an upgrade system that we haven't talked about in here, where we're upgrading the Exo at the end of each level. So I think fans are demanding that you put a little bit more, lot more thought into the game besides just shooting, and they want to do that. And man, we're happy.
Okay, sorry, I wanted to hear more about that upgrade system because that sounds really cool. How is that going to work?
You let them know.
Let me know. Okay. Drop it out.
Well, it's your turn. I'll go.
You guys don't have to take turns. You could just fight.
Yeah,
over
just tell them.
All right. Well. Okay, so during each level, you're going to earn some points on how well you play, and at the end of each level, you're going to get a screen, and you're going to be able to upgrade your Exo. And with whether it's speed, mobility, agility, reload, and you're probably going to have to play it through more than once to get everything, but it allows you at least a small opportunity to play the way that you want.
Sure, and that definitely harkens back to, obviously, as you were saying, your guys' core, principles.
Yes, yeah.
Character development, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Another thing that you guys do very well is set pieces and like epic moments. We saw obviously some of that in this trailer. Because it's this, mid, what is it, 2050 around that era.
Yes. 2054.
You guys, I would imagine, have to sort of imagine what the entire world is like, not just these individual battle zones.
Yes.
Is that fun? Is that a struggle? Like, that seems like, is it like anything is possible, or is it pretty grounded?
Yeah, no, yes and yes and yes. It's fun, it's a blast, and it's challenging, trying to find the balance of what is, believable and not science fiction. Super creative. And, I think for us, we always describe it as, Dead Space, we showed how to do really impactful emotional moments on sort of subtle and with Modern Warfare 3, we showed the world we could do some pretty epic sort of Call of Duty-esque, and now having the chance to marry those together in a sledgehammer sort of take on Call of Duty, I think we're going to see the best of both.
Yeah.
We had to create a production design. So not only do you do pre-pro, which is designing the game and the story and everything, but with production design, you have to design the world, which is something that was added. I mean, we didn't have to do that for Modern Warfare 3 as much because the world is what we know. But everything from a fork to a car to the planes, the helicopters, everything, their clothing, what are they wearing, their ties, the glasses, and so that has to be designed. And we have an extensive Bible that's online for everybody. They can call it up and look at the shapes that we came up with, the colors, and I mean, we've researched everything. And we were talking earlier, there's so much for it. We researched the tar on the road to see what how much
Future tar. What is this future tar?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's got different kind of compounds in it. What we wanted was to make sure that if you looked at little details, that you would see that they're changed.
That's awesome.
I must have missed the Future Fork Day. How did that turn out? How does it look?
It was good. It was very expensive.
I think it's probably like a spork, right?
Oh, are we going to
Seems like it was
spork?
moving that
Yeah,
direction.
it's a lot
part of your
smaller,
Exo?
right?
Yeah.
It's actually part of your iPhone.
Man,
Yeah,
very
like everything else.
I know you guys aren't going super in depth with anything beyond the campaign right now. Is there anything you could say about multiplayer apart from a very baseline? Obviously, it's in there. Is there a co-op component as well, or anything you're able to say on that front?
Yeah, we can't wait as developers to share, right? You know how that goes,
Absolutely.
and we can't. We're fairly, PR has given us some fairly hard guidelines what we could say, but I can tell you, we've from day one been focusing on MP. Everything you've seen in Soul kind of gives you an idea of where we're going and all of those abilities, and a broad new set of rewards, and we're focusing on player customization, and you're gonna have the ability to be, play your style of soldier, whether it's a man or a woman, whether it's advanced tech or your type of class. So I gotta tell you, this is like the most ambitious, as Glenn said, most ambitious sort of creative game we've ever had a chance to work on, and that applies equally to multiplayer.
Sure. You mentioned female soldiers. I know that was in the last Call of Duty game, Ghosts was introduced. How important was that? And do you guys really want to sort of expand the possibilities, not only for the audience, but as player characters, stuff like that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, we have a very important female character in single player, and this is the first time we've actually talked about her in a while.
Yeah.
But,
People are, that's a good thing, right? That people are asking these questions.
Yeah. I mean, we just look at it, that's just part of the future, right? It's a part of now, so why wouldn't it be then? And she has a very, very strong role in the game, and we'll see a lot of her, after the first or second level.
Yeah. And it's really about where the military is going, and everyone we talk to talks about, building the smartest and most invested soldier of the future, and women's going to play a part of that, right? And so we have a
gender, race, nothing. It doesn't matter at that point, right? It's intelligence and
of course.
experience.
Yeah, absolutely. And sort of just to wrap up, I know you're very locked down in terms of what you can say.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you feel like is so intrinsic to Call of Duty multiplayer that needs to be in this game, like a very base guns presumably, but beyond that,
60 frames, yeah.
Yeah, no, of course. I mean, 40 million strong,
Yeah.
10 million playing every day. You've heard these numbers.
Sure.
I bring it up not about the numbers, but just about the passion of the community, and clearly you don't want to alienate them. So we've innovated in some really amazing ways, and we've stayed true to what's made Call of Duty MP fantastic for nearly a decade. And that list is pretty long, right? So I think when you play it, and we can't wait for you to, it'll feel like multiplayer, but it'll be the most radically innovative new way to play Call of Duty multiplayer that you've seen in a long time.
That's great. I think people are ready for something completely new, and this looks very, very new.
Thank
Cool.
you. Yeah.
Thanks so much, guys. Thanks
For having us,
show.
man.
Yeah, it's been great.
And thanks for watching. We'll be here all week at E3 2014, checking out all the latest and greatest video games. Be sure to check out Polygon.com for all the news and videos. Take care.